Welcome to WO50 Women Over 50 Embody Wisdom and Wellness.
Hello there. My name is Corrine, and I'm here with my BFF of many years, Eddie. And today our talk is the power and significance of rituals.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about our rituals, from tea to coffee to yoga to meditation,
cord
to
cutting.
Cord cutting, my goodness.
Traditional. We talked about the difference of ritual and mindfulness and routine and habit. Like there's a lot of difference. And what rituals can do for you in your life, how you can create more. They trap our attention. They really make things more important and meaningful.
Yeah, they do. Just like friendship.
You have to make it a priority to make it important.
It's a ritual.
You funny girl.
Enjoy. Hello.
Hi, Eddie.
Nice to see you again.
You too. I feel like we haven't been very regular, but we've been flexible with each other.
We have. Well, it's that time of year, spring, and we're getting into new habits and rituals.
New habits and spring rituals. That's right.
Rituals, which is our topic, isn't it?
Yeah. We were trying to think of topics today, and let's see what comes. Like sometimes I come up with it, sometimes you come up with it, and then you kind of come up with the final titles, and we've been talking about doing like that spring renewal for weeks now because it's been spring here, not so much for you, but that's in the air, yes. But I don't know, I wasn't feeling it, and then I've got a girls' sort of sisterhood soiree thing that kind of came to me to do of a ritual for a cord cutting ceremony for like past traumas and all that, which I can share if you want. And then I sent it to you and I'm like, what do you think of this? Like, what do you think the power of ritual in our lives? And you're like, yeah, sounds good.
Sounds great. Because it's really powerful. Like rituals are personal, they're, collective. We share them. There's traditional stuff in families. There's lots to talk about with it.
Yeah, for sure. Because we
like
don't
morning rituals, bedtime rituals, right?
Yeah,
like
and ritual like
realize.
Christmas ritual. I remember a mutual friend of ours had said to me one time that she was so excited to meet somebody to get married. This is years ago when she really wanted to have a baby and get married. And she's like, I'm just so excited to like create like a Christmas morning ritual, around my new husband and a child and stuff. And of course she ended up getting divorced, and that's a whole nother ritual in itself. But yeah, like you think about your rituals, like for us, it was I guess before my mom and dad were divorced, it was like Christmas Eve was in the Catholic. I think I talked about this once before. We would go to midnight mass, and it was kind of one of the only times I would ever go to the Catholic mass because it was all Latin. And once I was old enough to realize, gosh, they're not speaking English, and they actually do speak English in church, but not the church we go to.
Yeah, you get your own message out of it. That's what it is.
So I guess we think of like I used to think rituals were like that, like more religious type things. In fact, Eddie, can you read? Do you have there handy to read the definition of ritual?
So a ritual is a set or sequence of actions, words, or gestures performed regularly and often in a prescribed order, usually as part of ceremony or cultural tradition. It also refers to any customary or habitual practice done in a consistent manner.
Yeah.
So, and they often mark significant events or transitions, rites of passage, worship, or personal devotion.
I love that. I feel like the younger culture, their tattoos are very ritual. I know my friends years ago, even before the whole tattoo craze started. Remember our mutual friend Annie? She would get like piercings sort of when there was a significant thing that happened in her life to sort of mark a significant thing.
I think my daughter does that with tattoos. She's got a lot of tattoos, so there's a lot of significance.
Yeah.
A lot of events.
Yeah,
it's really personal for her. And there is a ritual. Like there's definitely, they all mean something, right? They're symbolic and they mean something. And so there's a lot of young adults doing those gestures.
Yeah. I remember with Deepak Chopra years ago, he used to say that rituals had the capability of capturing our attention because we're fully present.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it almost seems to have the same sort of qualities as sort of when we were researching this to talk about today, what kind of different people have rituals. It almost has the same wording as mindfulness almost, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a little different in that. I mean, it can be similar, I guess, but feel like ritual is more of to commemorate something, but when you're talking about morning rituals, that's a little bit different, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's more of a personal one. So it's like
Yeah.
your ritual of how you make your tea or your coffee. Everybody's
Yeah.
got a set way, right? There's got to be there's a certain flavor. It is a ritual where it's almost like a lot of people say to me they look so forward to making their tea, and they have the little mug that heats up the coconut milk, and then they have their cinnamon, and everything's on the counter and done, right? Same with coffee. There's the perfect bean, and then the
Yeah,
grinder,
the
and
different ways that people do either the grinding
yeah,
or the whatever it is.
it's
Yeah.
like ceremonial. Or
It
even when you
is.
go to
Yeah.
clean the machine, it's like,
Yeah.
and then you don't even realize it's done. It's just been such a ritual every
Yeah.
day. This is what you do. And
Yeah.
bedtime, same thing, right? Jammies, brush your teeth, spray lavender on your pillow, whatever it is. Everybody's got some type of bedtime ritual,
Yeah.
right?
And it can
Well,
be
not everybody,
either.
but most people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think if people take a look at their lives, they probably have more rituals than what they think. And I feel like
Hmm.
not to be, it's like different than habits, right? Because habits I look
Yes.
at are less mindful. Like habits, we can even do mindlessly. And we can certainly get ready for bed or get ready in the morning
Hmm.
and even have our tea and coffee without ritual, without mindfulness. And it's more habit. And and then it becomes, we're thinking about ahead of time of what we're going to do in the day or what bothered us yesterday. So if it really becomes a ritual when you're cherishing the moment and enjoying it and present as she sips her cup of tea in her really pretty little cup. And that's even too
That's
that
my
that's a
ritual.
beautiful cup. I love
Isn't it
that.
beautiful? And it's pottery. Like
Oh,
yeah,
so
it's a
you love your
local
pottery.
artist. I
Oh, I
do.
love
And see, there's
that.
a ritual to that.
Yeah.
You get a potter down there, and they sit, and they set their time in the day, and they go and they sit and they work, make their mugs. And I know the gal I bought this from, yeah, she has her routine. So it's
Yeah.
her, and it's very, it's I don't know, like I think, I know when I've worked with pottery, it felt almost ceremonial too. There's something
Yeah.
about that with your hands in the clay, and I don't know, it's like you in the garden. It's like
Yeah.
you'll get your spring rituals going now with your
Yeah.
seeds, and right,
Yep.
we
Yep. All of
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
The compost, this time of year, I'm really into the compost, which is really transformation, right? Because I'm taking the stuff that I put like a month or two ago and it's turned into this rich soil. And then I'm taking that out and screening it and getting it ready to go in the garden. And then I'm layering with the food and the greens from the lawn and the cardboard and stuff to make new compost. And like I'll spend like I don't know, 2 weeks in that
Hmm.
process each time. And like 3, 4 hours a day. It's like, and then some strong guy will come along and he'll do it in like 2 days. Like Sean will come and he'll just like flip on, like, okay. But I do enjoy that. And it's such a miracle. Like those
Yeah.
little worms, they're just like, I have this big screen that will take my delicious dirt and then I'll screen it so because it's not all broken down yet and I'll rub my hands, well, my gloves on it and it'll
Mhm.
go through all the good rich soil and then whatever sticks and stones and stuff that's not broken down I'll throw back in and there'll always be lots of worms so I'll look through because I'll try not to squish the little wormies because they're like it's amazing what they do like they
They
turn
turn the soil. It's
it
crazy.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. They'll
Yeah.
eat anything. They won't eat the tape. But somebody told me the other day because I get all this cardboard at Costco, and the guy told me he was doing the same thing with his yard. We were getting all geeky about turning his lawn into a garden with the cardboard from Costco, and he was saying that the worms like the glue. I wonder if it makes them higher. I don't know,
Oh,
but he said
wow.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people get all freaked out about, the stuff in the cardboard or the color, and the worms don't care. It all turns into the best fertilizer that exists on the planet is what comes out of their
Yeah.
little bums after
Yep.
they eat all the crap that went into our mouths and
Imagine.
a few
Bet,
extra.
I bet their little microbiome's a lot cleaner than some of us humans, you know?
It's amazing. I've talked to
Yeah.
Colleen about that, like vultures,
Yeah. Can you imagine
what
studying
they
the
eat.
microbiome of, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just crazy. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's what we're doing and we're constantly transforming in life. And
Yeah.
that and so I don't know, it's like life can go by. Well, we did an episode on awe and mystery and it's right along the lines of that because I feel like
Yeah.
gosh, I'll go into Costco and I'll be so excited about my cardboard I'm going in and people are just totally mindless. I'll smile and they're not smile. Once in a while, I'll find somebody friendly and they'll smile back. And my heart's joyed
Yeah.
because I just see they're just like so in there like this, right? And I know we all get like that
Yeah.
sometimes where we're busy or whatever, but
Hmm.
gosh, it's like I tell my coaching clients, like a month or two or three can go by and they're just on automatic pilot on robot mode. And that's not
Hmm.
joy.
No. No.
And so many people on the planet are like that now. That's why when we go into stores and stuff or on the road, there's rage and anger and there's, all this stuff. But I don't focus on that too much because I notice it and I
Yeah.
try to just shine the light of love and not take it personal. Like when I find myself like getting like this about it or taking it personal, I'm like, no, they're in pain. They're in their own lane. They're just oblivious.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's their own pain. It's not mine. It's not personal at all when they cut me off in the line at Costco or whatever it is, the manager that gets mad at me asking for cardboard every day.
Yeah. I
I've
wonder
got,
what his ritual is in the morning. Maybe he missed his cup of coffee.
it's right. That's
You
right.
know,
Could
he
be.
would have missed his breakfast, his ritual, you know. It's interesting because, when you look at the change of seasons too, there's it's like a ritual, like solstice when that happens with
Yeah.
winter and that happens and there's all these rituals around it, beautiful celebrations and
Earth
you know,
Day.
yeah, we yeah, I think when people lose track of what's important, that's what I think a ritual just recenters you, you
Hmm.
know? Even
Yeah.
if someone's getting married and they're talking about weddings and they're stressed out because of their napkins and the venue and the music and all these things, and then somebody says something, so did someone give you something old and something blue and something new, right? Borrowed and
Yeah.
whatever that saying is,
Yeah.
that's another ritual, right?
Yeah.
That some people
Absolutely.
have held on to and
And tradition.
yeah.
Like I feel like rituals can be tied with
Yeah.
tradition, you know,
Yes.
and,
A
or
lot of well,
or
yeah.
we create
Well,
our own traditions, our new
yeah.
traditions for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think more and more people are doing that. Like you have like bar mitzvah, the coming of age, right? Those rituals and things. But I think now we have, and there's ceremonies, religious ceremonies, and
Hmm.
Christmas and New Year's and all these things. What people's plans are for New Year's, and
Hmm.
they get into this routine. But a routine is a bit different than a ritual because the ritual, like we said at the beginning, it kind of brings you into present moment.
Yeah.
It lands you
Appreciation
again.
into your heart,
Yeah.
because nothing is special. I know we've said this before in the podcast, but we can never say this enough. Nothing is special unless we make it special.
Yep.
Nothing is important unless we make it important. And the example is if I don't remind people that it's my birthday, it can go by and it's the same. There's no celebration at all,
Yep. But it's
and it's
coming
just
up
another day. My birthday is coming up. That's right.
like a
And
little stash over there.
oh, you do. You got to
Just
send it
started.
soon
Well, it's Friday.
because
Friday's my date to
you're
get it
so
in the
good at
mail.
that. It usually gets to me way before. You're much better than I
Usually
am.
right on your birthday or a day
Yeah,
before. That's when
exactly.
I
It
try to
is
get it.
true.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a ritual of our birthday celebrations, but
Yeah.
so we create that meaning, and so that's what to me what ritual has done for me in my life is create even putting together the package. Like Eddie and I have this ritual for each other for our birthdays and Christmas where we'll put stuff aside for months sometimes, but for sure weeks for each other. And that's like a ritual too of that happens every year and that we love because we usually love the same things. And if I find something I love, I know she's going to love it too because and so you do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Or I'll
Yeah.
convince her to give it to me when I see
Yeah.
her, and it's like,
Yeah,
you
that
don't
too.
want that. That's yours.
And vice versa. I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah, we do that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It really, as I was thinking of rituals and things, and I'm looking, okay, spring, and what is the ritual I get into, and then I realized too, my meditation and yoga practice gets really solid this time of year, and sometimes it can move a little way, and you can shorten it a bit, and
If
now it's
needed. Yeah.
gotten long, yeah,
Yeah.
and now it's gotten longer again,
Yeah.
and I feel, even the Tibetan rites, that ritual of doing those
Yes.
moves, right? Like, yeah, it's just landing again. So, we can't give ourselves a hard time for when we back off some of the stuff that we have as a, not a habit, but it's our ritual,
Yeah.
right? And it falls away. It eventually comes back if it's
If it's
if it's
needed.
centering and it's
Yeah.
needed and it's important to you, and again, you go with that feeling, right? Like it feels, no, it feels right. Oh, I love this, because you settle right into it again, and then you find that joy and that happy place, and it's restorative.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, like the benefits of some of these like more day-to-day rituals. So let's get on to the special rituals later, and let's talk about our day-to-day rituals and the benefits that they have in our life. So for you, and me, we both do. I'm off and on with the five rites too. I was like for 4 or 5 years, every day, every day.
Yeah.
Garden season is a little harder, although I don't know why, because I can, in the five rites is the Tibetan book of five rites. This guy in the 50s went to somewhere in the Tibet Himalayas somewhere, and these monks were all living to 130, whatever, very healthy. And so it's these five poses that you can do anywhere from 1 to 21 times each. So even if you do them like five times each, can literally be done in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned it because it has been on my mind like every morning to get back to. So
Yeah, yeah. Because when I think of a ritual, that was a really beautiful one, because when we were together and we were doing them, like it was like it's so cool. At this time we meditate, and this time we're up doing the rites, and then we do this practice, and then we go, and like it was just, we when we put that in the day, it set the tone.
yes,
It really, yeah, it really helped me stay in present moment. Like,
yeah,
we have today. This is all we have is right now. And
yeah.
you're landing and you're doing these poses. And even like you spin, and then there's a moving table, and there's a downward dog, and there's five really quick poses. And I remember the first time I did it, I could only spin five. And I
Yeah.
worked up to being able to spin those 21
Yeah, it's
times. And
amazing, Eddie. That's
yeah.
amazing.
And now I'm resetting again to back to doing 10,
Yeah.
and I'll work up to 15 of each pose and get up to 21. And doing more than 21 is of no benefit, right?
Nope.
This They have
That's what they
proven it.
say. Yep.
Yeah. And you, Corinne, was, you were the one who introduced me to it, and I absolutely love it. So, and even upper body strength, it's unbelievable how quickly your body feels
Responds.
stronger.
Responds.
Yes,
Yeah.
it responds to this, and it misses it. Like,
Yep.
and now that I'm back doing it again, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get it, do this. And if I do my 10, it's only going to take 5 to 10 minutes, and
That's
off to
right.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I find. It's for the five rites, specifically the Tibetan five rites. It's like, it's for me, I feel like, because it is based around the chakra system as well. So it's not just, it's great, of course, the muscle part, the body part, the flexibility part that it gives you in strength, but it is like the vitality.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's truth. She sneezed. See that? Truth.
That's energy moving, actually, because I was thinking it moves energy, right?
It does.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so I don't know if did I tell you that story? I don't know if I told you it in person or on the podcast, but I, was doing the five rites every day for, yeah, like I said, 4 or 5 years through COVID and all that. And then I happened to go to a vinyasa class that my friend Raquel was teaching, and she's like a hardcore vinyasa yogi, like harder than Saul's class. right?
Well,
And so I went like about year and a half ago. I went and I hadn't done a vinyasa yoga class in like 2.5 years. I was like, uh-oh, all I've done is the five rites. I kept up to all those 21-year-old girls in the class, like no problem at all. It
yeah,
was
it's
amazing.
great.
So highly recommend it. I will put that link to like you can look it up
Yeah.
on YouTube or buy the book or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a lovely little YouTube video on it too. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
So
lots of
that's
them
great.
actually. Yeah, lots
Yep,
and lots and
there
lots.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a ritual that you really like. Our day-to-day rituals. I love my teas.
Hmm.
I'm so happy. In fact, I asked AI, I said, act as if, because you have to tell AI like how to. I'm so happy with so many of my friends that are using AI, like you and Kathy Peak, and
Hmm.
like so many, and they're really utilizing it like
Yeah.
wonderful, like expanding. So I
Yeah.
say, act as if you're like a world tea connoisseur. And I said, there's a lot of companies that are like, trendy companies that say they have all these tea blends, but I want to know who's been doing this for generations, who imports from all the best places in the world. I want to know where the best quality of teas are. And it gave me this company, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I was up till like 2 in the morning getting all the teas.
Oh, that's great.
So it's T Viver, TEAT, and then VIVRE or ER, something like that. And they source from Japan, Taiwan, China, Korea, like all
Oh.
the best teas. And
Hmm.
some of them are super expensive, and some of them aren't, but it's you can tell very high quality. And their
Yeah.
service was great. They emailed me right after and said, we just want to double check your email address and everything.
I
So
remember when we did the tea plantation in India
yes,
in Munnar? No,
yeah, Munar, good memory.
Munnar. Wow, I
Yep,
can't believe I remembered that.
yeah, it
I couldn't
comes.
believe it. It was beautiful, and all the rituals where they explain how work with the white teas and the black teas and yeah, it
Well,
was
it's all the
beautiful.
same leaf. Do you remember that? White tea,
Yes.
black tea, and green tea is all the same tea plant. White tea is the most tender, taken at the very beginning when it's young and small. Then green is next, and then black tea. And they're all fermented for a certain amount of time. But black tea is fermented the most and the oldest. So
Yes.
it's like I went to a herb show the other day. Colleen and I went in the morning, and we got like I don't know hundreds of dollars worth of herbs and plants and stuff at this show. And when it was a fundraiser, they were not cheap, but everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had a tea plant. I'm like, I'm not buying the tea plant because there's so much that goes into the tea. It's like generations. I think I'm going to leave that to the people, the
Yeah.
tea
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. It's a big ritual. It's a
Yeah,
big
theirs is a
ritual with
ritual too of
teas.
how it's created. Like I have a huge respect. One of my friends who's actually going to be at the ritual this Friday that I'm doing or that I'm hosting, she brought me some. It's called milk oolong, creamy
Oh,
oolong.
wow.
It doesn't have milk or cream in it. It just tastes like it. It's
It's
so
wild.
delicate. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I felt so that was actually what led me to the and I got some oolong and I got all kinds of stuff. I spent a couple $100 on tea. And then
Wow.
I remember in India years ago, this woman from Russia, yeah, Russian lady, she'd shown me, I feel like I feel like America's never embraced it. Like we have coffee places everywhere, and
Yeah.
I've seen a few tea, but like tea houses where you go in and there's the
Mm.
tea rituals like they have in Japan. Like I
Or
feel like,
Britain. Or Britain.
but that's different. No, I'm talking about the actual,
Yeah.
yeah, not
Kidding.
English tea, because English tea they like one kind of tea. Um, but
Black. Yeah.
but yeah, but they're the little cups that you use, and there's special little pots, clay pots. And
Mm.
then like a really good quality tea you can re-steep like 10 times.
Hmm.
And that's where other
Nice.
and part of tea leaf reading came from there. And anyways, that is a
Hmm.
huge ritual is tea.
Yeah.
You can totally geek out in and and what I do is I feel into my clients when they are coming over about an hour before they arrive. I feel into what type of tea they might want to drink, hot or cold,
Hmm.
red, green, or white. Um, and I make it, and they walk in the door, and I'm like, "Would you like some green tea? Would you like some oolong? Would you like some iced hibiscus?" Oh my gosh, I've been craving that.
Yeah.
And that's
See,
the
that's
start.
what happens. And that's what happens. And that's what's beautiful at Ivy House is that ritual of, there's a tea there, there's going to be bread after yoga, like yoga bread, the breaking of the bread, the sharing of the community, the connection. That's part of the rituals, right? Is that
Yeah.
there's such beautiful gatherings and that tea can bring people together or yoga or whatever it is we find in our path. That's a beautiful ritual. And like hibiscus tea, when you made the hibiscus tea, and then we're in Mexico searching for the best hibiscus flower, and we're like, are we allowed to take this back? And we're like, yeah. I'm like, to Canada too? So, it's like, and I made it the other day, and oh my gosh, it's gone. Like,
Oh,
it's so, yeah, it's so good though.
oh,
Yeah,
so
I did it
good.
all. I used
You
it
can
all.
order it on Amazon though.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
is good. It's not quite as fresh as what we would get in Mexico. And that's the same. I still have lots because I brought way back way more than you did.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have,
That's right.
yeah, you're like a more of a I mean, you enjoy tea as well, but you also enjoy
I
your
do.
coffee.
It's
Yeah.
funny because I do my ritual with my tea is my tea, I drink my herbal teas in the afternoon. And
Yeah.
it's funny because during the winter, I eat she Corinne laughs at me because you do laugh at me, honey, because I use the immunity by Tetley
It's
and it's
awesome. It's
and
so great.
it's great. And I'm like, it has kept me so well all winter. I traveled. I took it to Nashville with me to Mexico,
Yeah. You take it
and
everywhere. It's
I
easy to
drank it about
travel.
2 or 3 times a day during the winter. And I was like, okay, this is my ritual. This
And I
is my
got my
tea.
sister to get it, and my sister has it in her cupboard, and she drinks it a
Yeah,
lot in the winter as well. We
yeah.
can't get it here in the States.
I know it's wild. And I add
Yeah,
a little bit of stevia to it just to give it, a little sweet, but it's got, zinc and
yeah.
echinacea and it's beautiful. And when people get into doing teas, um, you know, a lot of people are doing the same with coffee, but you're getting into the coffee's more of a meet and greet and people get together and hang out. And it's interesting how these coffee corners happened, right?
Oh
Every
my
corner, a
gosh, like it's
coffee shop.
still, like I thought they would have faded out by now, but they still,
Still.
and people use them as their office still, like young
Yep.
people.
It's still community and connection.
It is.
It
It is.
it is. It's like whatever it is that someone gets their. If you're in France, you're going to get a baguette and a coffee. It's
Yeah.
something that sets the tone of your morning,
Yeah.
or even when people close out their day. Because I know your niece loves sunsets, right?
Yeah.
Sunrises actually, and
Both,
sunsets.
both, both. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a ritual for her, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
that's her opening and closing for the day, I guess, right?
Well, it is for
That's
all of us, but we don't pay attention to it as much as, some
no.
people really love sunsets and sunrises. And but Paisley has been watching, and the name of her jewelry company because of that is called Paisley Sky because
Yeah,
she loves,
sweet.
yeah,
I
Paisley
know I
Sky.
like her little
Her
stuff
little
she has on
videos, she's
Instagram.
doing
It's
so
cute.
well. She's got a
She's
little
so
Etsy
sweet.
store, and her jewelry's fantastic. If you're
Yeah.
listening and you want to order Paisley Sky jewelry on Instagram,
Yeah, she's on and she makes beautiful jewelry
yeah,
and she can ship it to you, right? I
yeah,
think so.
she ships it,
And she's
yeah,
really sweet. I think I have to order a little piece because I think a little bit of paisley it'll be in it. Just her energy, her sweet little.
yeah, yeah. She
Does
is
she
a
have a
very
ritual? I
sweet
wonder.
energy.
You know how one of our friends had a ritual with jewelry. Who was that? One of our friends used to get me little pieces all the time, and
Oh, Shay
yeah,
Shay.
and she
Oh,
used to
she's
do a
still
little
going.
ritual.
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
lot of people do that too, right? They have rituals with jewelry and with stones and oils and they have messages they put into it. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, Shay used to do chanting over when she was making all her jewelry. Like she specialized in sacred jewels. Like that was the name of her company back then. I can't remember the name now,
Yeah,
but she used to do all the Chopra Center jewelry. So she had all the
that's
Hindu and
great.
Tibetan gods and goddesses on them. And so she used to chant the name of it when she
I
would
love
make the jewelry.
those.
And we loved, yeah, I still have
I
just all her
I have all
jewelry
mine. I
years,
have all
20
the
up,
ones.
yeah, 25 years later still.
Yep. And every time
Yeah,
I wear them, somebody comments because they're
yeah,
really special and the
yeah,
just the little additions, that's
yeah.
yeah, everybody, tap into what is your ritual? Like
Yeah.
what is it that you're settling into? And as we go into spring and yeah, the
I
summer's coming.
And I feel like as women over 50 and over 60 and 70 and 80, I do get the sense that and I've listened to a lot of podcasts about this lately, but you know how we don't go out as much, right? So we tend to stay home more.
Hmm.
And because we're happy at home, we don't. I remember when I was young, I needed to go out for the excitement and to meet people. Now there's like zero. I actually have to push myself now to go out. But I think because I tell my clients this, the older gals, that you know we can get stuck in that too, because we get stuck in our comfort, and there's so much we have now at home. We don't just have our home, but we have our iPads and our TVs and our Kindles and all our
Hmm.
entertainment at home. We don't have to go to the movie theater anymore. In fact, we much prefer watching a movie and a series at home in our bed or on our couch.
Yeah.
And I feel like so that's part of the reason, I didn't come up with this. I was doing a session with one of my friend clients who I've known for many years, and she's letting go of a relationship. And she said, maybe Corinne, maybe could you think you could help me do like kind of a cord cutting ritual? And then it just kind of came to me that there's probably a handful of women that we could do it together, create some synergy together. And like, do you remember the parties we used to have, House of Bliss, with the big potluck parties we'd have, and
Yep.
everybody would bring food, and
Hmm.
people still talk about those parties. And then we had them at Ivy House here too when we first opened. Big, we'd either Sachi would cook and and music and things. And I
Hmm.
feel like after COVID that's stopped. It hasn't really come back fully yet. So I'm very
Yeah.
excited to have this Friday evening is I don't like to talk about dates because sometimes I don't put this out for months,
Yeah.
but it happens to be coming up the Easter this weekend, and so Good Friday, and we'll do like a cord cutting ceremony about whatever it is, whether it's a relationship or trauma or a past a behavior or whatever. And
Hmm.
so I'll have the women each bring a piece, some food we'll share together, and we might share some poetry that means something to each, and just create like a synergy ceremony together. A lot of indigenous cultures have been doing this for a long, long time,
Yeah.
thousands of years of these different rituals for sisterhood
Hmm.
or the men's,
Yep.
which men certainly need it. And
I
so
think
I'm
men
excited.
had warrior. They had warrior retreats or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's cool.
and there are some male men retreats now that I follow. Sons Father Sons or something like that. Anyway, it's a beautiful
Mm.
organization. They do men's retreats all over the world, and they'll do like fighting, but then they'll do like a baptism in the water, like after, not like a religious baptism, but just like a cleansing after the fight, and a
Mm.
healing and fire ceremony. So just yeah.
Mm.
So and our retreats do that a lot too. When we have retreats, we come together to do. You and I have done a lot of fire circles. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I'm just very excited this Friday to be bringing some special women together and creating
Mm.
intention. So you could do that anytime, with a friend group, small
Hmm.
or big, to invite just a few friends over for whether it's manifestation. We talked that at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Just create your own, do a little Google search
Yeah.
or
Because a
just
lot
what
of
comes.
people, well, a lot of people connect in just even that little thread, right? That's what they connect on. And a lot of people go, well, I'm not like those people because,
Yeah,
we're not the same. I'm a business and I'm a lawyer and I'm a doctor and I'm a yogi teacher. And, like it doesn't matter what the
yeah,
labels are.
that's
There's
right.
that thread that you connect on.
Yeah,
And it's that ritual of sharing and like-mindedness and coming together with food and then you start talking and you make these beautiful connections. It's not even networking as the old world would have it. You're just being. You're just being. It's beautiful awareness. It's
yeah,
presence. And no one has to know what anyone else does. It doesn't matter what
yeah.
the backstory is.
Yeah.
It
That's what
doesn't
that's what
matter.
I love. That's it's the actually the opposite of networking, because you go to
Yes.
a networking meeting, which I never went to any of them that I was invited to. It makes me want to throw up, really. But
No, no, you can't say that
I
because
mean,
I remember when I worked at Enlo, when I was on the board of directors, and this is like the organization of women entrepreneurs here in Newfoundland,
yeah,
Labrador. There were some amazing connections made by networking, and it's great for businesses and people to do. And it wasn't my favorite thing to do, but when I would go to these events, I was really glad I kind of stretched myself
Yeah.
outside my comfort zone
Yeah.
because I made some amazing connections, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no,
but
thank you
but
for that. It was a total
yeah,
judgment and not. Yeah, I just think my old the music business thing,
yeah,
the
yeah,
pain from music business and going to, oh, am I going to meet somebody that's going to help me? Kind
yeah,
of that kind of little pain came up there for a minute. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember when you were on the board, and it was so awesome to see you. You were single at the time, and you were
hmm
getting out there, and you were
yeah.
connecting with so many. So it wasn't like networking; it was connecting. I guess
It
it's
was
like.
connecting,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was really
And it was really
connecting.
great. Yeah, because it was empowerment. It was like a lot of women because it was an organization. It was women centered,
Yeah.
focus
Yeah.
and really holding women really really holding space for people and allowing them to kind of grow and build upon what they already had established because some
Yeah.
people are just new and coming in and I was had my own business for
Yeah.
20 something years, 25 years at that point, and it's just that support, right, that
Yeah.
encouragement and
Yeah.
that someone's got your back or believes in you, and then people would feed off of that. Like
Yeah, for
it would
sure.
seep in and yeah, it
Create
wasn't.
energy and
There was
synergy
no
and
competitiveness. Yeah,
no.
because
Yeah.
everybody's beautiful, right? Just
Yeah.
holding space. So I did enjoy that. And we get older, and then someone else takes the helm, and and
But I feel
go to
like
your
we can
next
do.
personal growth.
Yeah, like that's the thing is it turns into maybe we're not doing that for business anymore, but we're
hmm
doing that as grandmothers or as, Pilates people or
Exactly.
as a letting go ritual or yoga or hiking
Yep.
group or a walking
hmm
group,
Exactly.
a travel group,
Yep. Yep.
just to kind of push because we do need connection. And I
Yep.
do see, because I do know a lot of single women over
hmm
50. I
hmm
guess because I'm a single woman over 50.
Yeah.
And
I know a lot of single women over 50, over
yeah,
60 that are in
yeah,
my
oh,
life that
yeah.
are friends.
And
Yeah.
what I see kind of across the board is I feel like they could use a little more connection and a little
Yeah.
more getting out and breaking out of their
Mhm.
pattern. And
Yeah.
because I feel like some are a little stuck in some ways, not always, but and
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm stuck in some ways too. Like we all can use a that's why we have this podcast is to help push us and talk about new and different things and
Yeah.
catch each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, like question each other. Not there's a podcast I was listening to the other day, and Huberman, and he was talking about how he doesn't want any more drama in his life. I don't have people with drama. And the woman was a communication and relationship person, and she's like, well, there's a word that it's I can't remember the wording she used, but when your girlfriends support you about whatever it is you're into, even if it's they just support you and they're cheerleaders, but even when it's not healthy, like
Yeah.
ragging on your ex and
Yeah.
not questioning you and saying, well, he had some good qualities too. You know what I'm saying? She said your true friends in a healthy
Yeah.
relationship will question you and push you be otherwise we're just live in our own fantasy world and create our own little world, la la land that doesn't based in
Yeah.
reality sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I like rituals. It's a good reset time. And it's a good,
Yeah. Yeah. And spring is a good time for new ritual, right?
yep. Yep. You could get your smoothie out now every day and start putting all these healthy things in it and have your little counter ready for what you're going to add in. It's like I watch all these things now about there's so much coming out for it's overwhelming. I know for a lot of people because they come in and say, I'm emotionally chaotic because there's so much I think I should be doing and I'm not doing. And
Yeah.
what should I be taking? Should I be on hormones? Should I be? Well, what's your ritual? What do you take and commit to for your body that you can take every day that you feel you need? If
Yeah.
you're missing sunshine, it's vitamin D. If you're missing certain dairy or it's calcium. If you're missing some hormones, it's hormone cream. It's like we start taking inventory and then that even becomes a ritual of, oh, these are my supplements I take. Everybody's different. Some
Yeah.
people take a break from it. Some people, nope, they don't want to veer from it.
Yeah.
So it's, there's a lot of little rituals.
Absolutely. So many. So I
Mm-hmm.
hope as you're listening to this that you're thinking about what you can add into your life or maybe host a little gathering. You can always send Eddie or I an email and say, "Do you have any ideas for this?" My niece on same niece Paisley on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, she had a little pictures of high tea, like all these delicious little cakes and treats and tea and stuff. And I said, "Where did you have high tea? It's usually like minimum $150 for a cheap high tea somewhere."
Yeah.
And she said her friend created it at home. She'd been wanting to do it for a long time. It looked like
Oh,
total professional.
that's great.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's really sweet. And you and I have created lots of things with ritual, from wellness retreats, music and
Yeah.
yoga and wellness talks,
Yeah.
and that kind of sits into kind of what we love to do in our lives. And again,
Yeah.
what you're doing with your group of women, that kind of happens just naturally, organically.
Yeah.
We listen to what's needed, and
Yeah.
then we go, oh, maybe I'll mention to a few people. And before you know it, you got this little group.
Yeah.
And that can happen like in anyone's life, where they
Yep.
can go, because people love book clubs, right? And not everyone might like the book, but the talking about it after, and the sharing, and
And the
having
connection
tea,
and have tea. Exactly.
connection, right?
Yeah.
And then it mightn't even be about the book. By the end of it, it's, what kind of cream are you using?
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing for your hormones lately?
Yeah, really. It's like women tend to, when they're comfortable with each other, tend to share some really deep stuff. And that again creates, like we talked on the last podcast about vulnerability. So you never know what a ritual or something you create, either personally or collectively, community, what it's going to turn into.
Yeah.
Or grow into. Yeah.
I love it.
Me too. Thanks.
I love you.
Love you too.
Thanks, Ed.
Always and forever. Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
listening.